this doesn't sound right when I say it, but it's I always say the best gig that I've ever had. I wouldn't have it any other way. We have, our students are just fantastic. And of course, I always say GT students come from GT parents. And we really appreciate your active participation. There are various ways for you to become involved with the PTO. And there's also a lot of fun activities and events that we hope to have throughout the year. No one expected COVID to affect us the way that it did maybe a year and a quarter ago. And unfortunately, it looks like the numbers are going in the wrong direction. Safety, health and safety are our core values and our priority here. So I always err on the side of caution. And so we very much look forward to the decisions and the votes that our superintendent and the board are going to make on tomorrow night. So that is the forefront of our thinking. And of course, each and any kind of effort that we can make to ensure health and safety for our students is, once again, our #1 priority. I don't know if we're ready to kick off with the PTO just yet, but I want to hand things over to our president, Mrs. Susan Halls.
Thanks, Mr. Moss. Somehow I'm not surprised that we have enough people here for me to stand on a chair. Thank you for taking the lead. I feel a whole lot less self-conscious now. Welcome. We really appreciate all of you being here, and dealing graciously at CVHS. I have a rhino who graduated in the class of 2020, and I have a sophomore. So I am here as PTO, but I'm also here as a sophomore parent, and I am sending my child to fish camp. Somebody actually called to ask me that yesterday, which I appreciate that care. We're all concerned. PTO, our mission is to support Carnegie Vanguard High School through fundraising and volunteering. So you see in this room the different QR codes, and we did our best to make it touchless, by the way. There's some bumps along the way. So we volunteer. There are different ways that we do that. We have a big fundraiser once a year that you'll hear about in a moment. We sell t-shirts, we volunteer. We do a lot of in-school volunteering, which, you know, we're gonna have to figure out how that works this year. So once again, I'm really glad that everybody's here. If you have any questions, you can contact me at president@CVHS PTO. And I will hand the microphone to Joya Shukla to talk about our Friends and Family campaign. Sorry.
It's nice not being the only one vertically challenged. So good morning, everyone. I'm your VP of fundraising this year, which means that I am after one thing and one thing only, and that is your wallet. But along with that, there will be so many opportunities, particularly for people that are just entering the CVHS community to get involved. The Friends and Family is really the biggest campaign of the year. As Susan just mentioned, we've made it totally touchless. You can go on the website, you can scan the QR codes that are distributed throughout the room. We ask really that you not just look at what you can do to help the community. When we talk about helping the community, we do everything from, you know, enhancing the classroom experience of the teacher by adding supplies to whatever the teacher may need, you know, for that experience. Sometimes we help some of the student clubs out. Sometimes at Thanksgiving, we help needy families out. We always remember to do a monthly event for the teachers. Not sure with COVID how that's going to quite work, but I'm sure that with this amazing team, we'll find a way to make sure the teachers stay recognized and appreciated. Again, there's a lot of things planned, you know, potentially like an auction for an amazing spot for that senior that drives to school, or last year we did an auction for premium graduation seats. If you have ideas, please send them my way. I would, and even better, if you're wanting to sponsor that idea and help drive it forward, you know, whether it's grant writing, we all come with such a diversity of skills. So whatever your skill is, if you can find a way to tie it into the mission and help make it a better place for everyone in this room, in this building, in this city, you know, just asking for you to step up. So along with that, something that we've done a little bit of in past years, but again, I'm just going to ask you to reach out and check in with your employers. So many companies do company matches. You know, it's if you're already donating, it's maybe 5 minutes at most extra work to request a match from your company. Other companies, you don't even have to put a penny in. Where I work, if I simply volunteer 20 hours, they're willing to donate $500 to the organization. So again, it's all about trying to leverage our resources most effectively. Again, our first and major campaign of the year will be running through November. Ask that you know, pick up the QR code, go to the website. Again, my name's Joya Shukla. Reach out to me, reach out to anybody on the PTO board. If fundraising is not your thing, just find a way to find something that resonates with your passion, and please get involved. Thanks.
I'm going to have to leave. Hi, my name is Maria Calzada, and I am the VP for Communications and IT. I have a senior, and I have been so proud to be a parent here and to be a volunteer. I have 2 children, HIC, incoming 8th grader as well. And I can say of all the PTOs, this has been the most wonderful one to work with and to volunteer for. I work full-time. So those of you that work full-time, work long hours and feel like, okay, you know, I can never put time in for PTO, rethink that notion. This is the kind of school that you want to give back to, because they give 100% to our students. I will tell you, as a volunteer for the senior award, that's like a scholarship that we do for our seniors. I've had the opportunity to see the best of the best that this school produces year after year, which is saying a lot, as you all know. And it is amazing to me to see the product of 4 years at this school, and to have those same students come back and speak after their first year of college, and have to date 100% of them tell us that their first year of college was easy compared to being at Carnegie. Not to scare you. Hopefully all the students really did go to the cafeteria. But our kids go to college prepared, truly, truly prepared. So that is all to say that as a PTO, I feel like it's really worth all of our sweat equity and our financial equity to give back to the school. So that was a little bit of Joya's spiel, but as communications VP, we have a few things that are going on. First is the website, that's vanguardian.org. I know it should be CVHSPTO.org, because that's what everything else we do is. That's the email end or app for everything, but it's not. That's what I inherited. I'm sorry. So just bookmark it, put it in at your browser. It's Vanguardian because it's a Vanguard program. So
we're the guardians of the Vanguard
program. We're the guardians of the Vanguard program. Okay, there's a reason for it. One of our freshman parents, Mary, where is Mary here? No? Okay, anyways, God bless her. She is someone who is a professional in information technology, and she has volunteered to be our webmaster. So she is going to help take that off my hands. If anyone else is interested in helping out with the website, we could use more help with that. I do encourage everyone to please bookmark it. Take a look around. That first landing page has almost all the information you could possibly need or want. We're working on it right now, so we're aware that there are some problems with the different class bookmarks and the menu items, but we're going to get there. We're trying to switch gears from last year to this year. The other items that we have are the social media pages. So if you're on Facebook, we have an official page, an official group, and then you'll find, if you look around, that there are some unofficial groups that are made by our parents for the different classes. So we try to designate which ones are the official ones. So if you could please like and follow our official ones at least, but I encourage you to also join the ones that are for your particular class, because it's very helpful. We're on Twitter and Instagram, as well as have a YouTube channel. And so the way you can make sure to join the official ones is just by starting off on the Vanguardian page and going from there to the different social media platforms. We also use Padlet. If you're not familiar with Padlet, you may or may not find it useful, but if you start off on Vanguardian, again, it'll be there. It is kind of like a mini newspaper, electronic, and it has updates, and often we will use the same little articles and advertisements that the school uses, because they also use the Padlet. So we often share items. So that is one other way to be up to date with information from the school. And finally, a link tree, which some of you may be familiar with from Instagram. And Linktree also has some of the same information. All of this is to say is that we try to get out the same information multiple different ways, the best we can, to try to reach everyone. We're not always successful, but we do try. If anyone is interested in helping in any of these endeavors, I would really appreciate it. If you are interested in taking pictures, publishing at certain events, writing, blogging, doing advertising, helping be a liaison between clubs, anything at all, I'm at communications@cvhspto.org. Thank you.
Always wait to the table. With your name. Okay. Okay, this is, can everyone hear me? I'm not actually going to stand up on this because I broke my ankle and I never want to break my ankle again. So I'm not going to stand up, but can you all hear me okay? Okay. I'm the Vice President of Volunteers. So everything everyone before said about volunteering is what I say. I volunteer because I don't do it because I need friends or am like a desperate, wealthy person who doesn't have to work. I do it because I want to really make the school a better place for our kids, and because I know that Principal Moss and the teachers need our support. The PTO here is able to do so many things around the school to that Principal Moss doesn't have to spend his budget on, so he can keep spending it on the things that matter to us, which are our excellent teachers and our classes and anything else. So we're really here to support the school and to support our kids. We support clubs. We support teachers. They have a wish list. We try to make that happen. We support them with school supplies. Anybody who comes to the PTO with a need, we will try to fund it. So that's what you're doing when you're giving your donations, but also when you're giving your time. And another thing about Carnegie is a school that emphasizes leadership in our kids. You know, Vanguard is part of being a Vanguard student is being a leader. And if you volunteer for the PTO, you're demonstrating that to your kids, that leadership matters, that giving of yourself matters, that when you care about something, you don't just, you put your time into it and you put your love into it. And that's what being a volunteer for the PTO is about. And I guarantee you can tell me what your schedule is and I will find a job for you that works. I have a kid, I have 2 kids at home, I have to make dinner and I work full-time and part-time. I will still find something that you can do for the school from your home, from the convenience of your home. So please approach me. I'm very approachable. And I will find you a job. I'll find you a way to be involved, because also you will find that you're thinking like, oh my gosh, another thing I have to commit to. But then there's this feeling of like, I'm really a part of something here at Carnegie that makes a difference. And you especially see that when your kid gets to be a senior and you see how much they've grown and how much they've learned and how much initiative they can take in the world. And like Maria said, you get to meet a lot of amazing students of Carnegie. When you volunteer, you also get to meet a lot of the teachers and the staff and realize how much they care and how much they're putting into our kids. So it's just a way of giving back. And like I said, I will definitely be able to use every person in this room in some capacity. We have so many volunteer spots to go. So please let me know, just put your name down. Generally, I will have a conversation. So that's it for me. Any questions? Oh, do I need to talk about the membership directory? I know we've said this a million times. The computers we thought were going to stay up forever apparently keep needing to be relogged into. So if you use the QR code and you get into the directory, that is the way you can stay in the loop, because I'm also the VP of membership. So you are a member of the PTO when you put your name in the directory, when you sign up for the newsletter, when you come to an event and put your name down, we consider you, a member of the PTO and we'll email you. So if you ever don't want to receive our emails, you need to tell us. As soon as you give us your name and your email, we're going to contact you in some way just to let you know what's going on at the school or to say, hey, we need volunteers for this or whatever. So, but we do consider every parent who comes to Carnegie part of the PTO. If you show up for a general PTO meeting, you're also part of the PTO. We can't do an opt-out, so we have to have you opt in all these different ways, if that makes sense. So please put your name in the directory. That's the easiest way for us to contact you. And also that way we keep track of your kids. So if I need to email all the junior parents, I can do that, or all the senior parents. So there are also class level activities. Did I cover it?
I think so.
Okay. All right. Susan's going to finish this off here.
Okay, pretend I'm a different person because our VP of Special Events was not able to make it this morning. Her name's Jamie Turner, and she sponsors or helps sponsor social events for Carnegie Vanguard High School. So we were planning, okay, you need me to speak a little louder. I hear someone saying, all right, I was afraid of the pounding feedback, but I'll turn the volume up. We are planning a party for the fall, a parent event in the evening. However, with COVID the way it is, it's uncertain whether we're going to be able to safely do that. So we'll keep you posted. If any of you have older kids, the first event is a party for the junior class because the freshmen and sophomores got fish camp, the seniors have senior sunrise, and the juniors were feeling kind of left out. So they will have a party on the 18th. I think that's a week from today. So anyway, the August 18th, yes. Up on, the reason I'm pointing is because it'll be up on top of the parking garage in the fresh air, as long as you can call Houston fresh air. And please just keep your ears open for social events. One of the challenges of being a magnet school is one of the great things about being a magnet school, which is we have people here from all over the city, but that means we don't run into one another in the grocery store necessarily. So we work hard to build community among our families. And as our school has grown over the years, that's a great problem to have, but you can see this library is full. So keep your ears open. I'll switch back to being myself. And I will let you know that open house is August 26th. Our first meeting of the year, PTO general meetings are typically the third Thursday of the month at 7 p.m. Right now, we thought when we planned them that we were going to be able to have them in the school building in person. Right now, of course, we're not really sure about that. So they will also be broadcast on Zoom. They may be only on Zoom. It's probably wise to plan for September and October that they would be Zoom and you'd be able to attend from the comfort of your home. So that's what I can say about meetings right now. There is a calendar on the Vanguardian website that should have all upcoming events on it, especially including meetings. Board meetings are Tuesday night, the second Tuesday night of every month. You don't have to come. You're always welcome. They're not closed meetings. I'm not sure why you would, what you could. And especially if you want to get more involved and kind of see how the sausage is made, you're welcome. What?
Yes.
Open house is going to be virtual. Mr. Moss, would you talk about that?
And then I can host Q&A, or you can.
So annually, open house takes place the first week of school. I know it's a busy first week of school for everyone, but the teachers would really like to articulate the expectations in a general format and not have to discuss any specific grades and that kind of thing, but they will give a general orientation about the expectations for each and every class and subject. So that takes place the first week of school, that is on Thursday evening. Usually the PTO will kick that off somewhere around 6:30. And then at 7 o'clock, we ask parents to go into advocacy. So this year it will be 100% virtual. This year we will have our largest enrollment ever at Carnegie, somewhere around 950 students. We won't grow very much larger than that, but due to COVID, we want to make sure that we have appropriate spacing in the classrooms. Initially, we were going to come up with a hybrid situation. However, with the COVID levels being at red, we want to go to 100% virtual. So you will receive a link, and most likely it's going to be on Microsoft Teams. That is the format that all of your students should have if they are issued an HISD laptop. So parents will actually go to advocacy, which is somewhat like a homeroom teacher. And we will have a general orientation regarding the school and rules and regulations. And then you will rotate to different classes based on periods, starting with period 1 all the way through period 7. There are 7-minute classroom visitations and then a 3-minute passing time to allow you to navigate the online system to get from one teacher to the next. There were a couple other things. I took some notes that I wanted to mention. At Carnegie, we're very proud about the various different accolades that we've been able to accomplish over the years. We recognize that we are not perfect, but we do welcome your feedback. We pride ourselves on being able to respond to you, if not immediately, within 24 to 48 hours. So we very much welcome your feedback in ways that we can continue to make improvements. So how many of you remember, I think the movie was called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I accept the good feedback, the bad feedback, just not the ugly feedback. So please, if you have any ideas, suggestions, concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. It may be in the evening. I try to dedicate my time on campus to the instructional and the learning needs on campus, but I promise to get back to you within 24 to 48 hours. And if by chance that does not happen, call the school, send me another email. Many times, for whatever reasons, some Yahoo email addresses will go directly to spam. I don't know why, but if I don't respond or the teachers don't respond, please give me a call. Once again, I want you to know that I very much welcome your feedback.
Sorry, I had to deal with a couple of things. I have a sophomore, like I said, and she was panicking because her fish camp luggage was still in the car. So I had to go deal with that, pardon me. And Aparna, if you're in here, your daughter gave me your car keys. So, teenager stuff. So a couple of things before we move on to Q&A. We've still got tacos and cookies and coffee and sparkling water over here. So those of you who are on your lunch break and maybe getting hungry, there's food. And then the rest of our time together is you may want to socialize with one another too, but what questions do you have for us about Carnegie while we're here, and some of the more experienced parents can help you?
I'll start. I have a question.
Yes, Mr. Moss, what's your question?
I'm just really curious, by show of hands, how many of you are parents of brand new incoming freshmen? All right, great big welcome to you. Thank you for being here. How many of you are parents of brand new incoming sophomores, brand new to Carnegie? All right, welcome to you as well. Do we have any parents of returning sophomores here? All right, thank you. Thank you so much. All right, this was my way of breaking the ice, answering the, or asking the first question. Who has a question out here? Yes, sir.
Yeah, we got to the thing going on with COVID. I thought the district study said there was something to the option of virtual. Does that been changed at all?
As far as I understand it, our superintendent has come up with a plan that's being presented to the board, and the board will make some decisions on this sometime Thursday evening. I believe they start at 5 p.m. or maybe earlier, but I think the broadcast begins at 5 p.m. So I can't comment on what the proposal is. There are some things that I'm just not aware of just yet, or obviously how the board may vote on certain things. I will say this, many years ago, HISD started issuing the district issued laptops. And those laptops have many resources that are approved and provided by HISD. Some students opt to use their own, which is fine, but understand that they may not have all of the resources that HISD has approved and have loaded in the system for those laptops. Should we, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but should we have to go back to a virtual implementation for instruction and learning, it would be good that all of our students are already set up with the HISD district issued laptops. And as of now, that's probably all that I can really comment about that situation. But any and everything that we do, we always try to have a backup plan, a plan B and a plan C even, as best that we can. So I will be glued to my television tomorrow night starting at 5 p.m.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't myself.
All right. Thank you for your question, and very nice to meet you.
There was a question about drop-off time when school starts for the students, and they can find it on the website.
Thank you. So the main office opens at 7:30 a.m. and it closes at 4:30 p.m. So those are the same hours that the building will be open. Any students who arrive earlier than 7:30, they're welcome to go into the athletic fields or wait around the perimeter of the campus, but the doors will open at 7:30 p.m. and once again, they'll lock at 4:30 p.m. Let's see what else. Typically, students go directly to the cafeteria where the kitchen does serve breakfast and lunchtime. Is there another part of the question?
No, that's great. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so 7:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Show of hands for those who are hoping for HISD bus transportation. Okay, so you should receive notification about a week prior to the beginning of school. So I'm thinking sometime next week you will receive some kind of correspondence. Usually it's a postcard in the U.S. mail in regards to the pickup location and time. And let me just kind of give you a little forewarning. Usually it takes a few weeks for those routes to consolidate. Many times they may have to drop a route based on if someone signs up for a particular route, and then if they don't show up with a certain number of days, or maybe a week or two, they may drop that route. So please be patient with HISD transportation. Many times we receive feedback at the schools regarding transportation, but the transportation department has a routing and scheduling department all of its own. The school campuses don't make those decisions, but I will say this, if you are electing for HISD bus transportation, please utilize it so that your stop or your location or route is not dropped.
So in the past, the PTO has been helpful in coordinating carpool from various areas. I know when my son was a freshman, that saved my life whenever we were still living kind of out in the Bel Air area. We're not able to really do that as effectively because of remote meetings and whatnot. So that's one more reason to sign up on mostly the Facebook page, you know, because we're all old. And that's what most people use. I found that a lot of parents are coordinating that way. if anyone has any good idea for another platform or way that we could help as a PTO coordinate parents signing up in a way that doesn't violate anyone's privacy, I'm open to hearing that, because even though I don't need that service anymore, I do understand. So we're happy to try to help coordinate carpool from various areas. If you go, the easiest way to make sure you're on the right page, because you know algorithms, is to go to our main web page and just hit the little Facebook icon, and that should take you directly to our Facebook page.
Okay, and then what is
Group meet? Group meet might be an option.
Group meets, okay.
We'll find out. I'll look at it. Can you tell us a little more about group meet?
Yeah, all I think almost like what's up, right? It's close and it's more secure. No risk and all that. All that's required is just, you know, you create, have an account. I think basically you can do an account that has your group meet. So invite can be signed to parents. All you need to sign up is just a phone. And the first phone number is small.
Talk to me after this little group thing. Okay.
I see one here.
I was curious, I'm Larissa and I have this on board. What are the any information about lockers, distribution of lockers, all of the classes get them?
Locker distribution is first and foremost for freshmen and sophomores, and it's available for juniors and seniors by request. And you're welcome. Yes, sir.
My name is Trey, and my daughter is Isha, starting freshman. Both were happy to be here. I just did a quick search, circling back to carpool. Did a quick search on Google, and I found this website called carpoolwiz.com. It's actually started by Brian.
Of course.
Is it kind of? Yes. That is the question. That's a great question, and we can find out because his mother was PTO president a couple years ago, so I can just call her. So.
I think that'll help a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. So for those of you who maybe didn't hear, there may be another option for, I guess, carpooling, and so we will look into that situation. Question here and then here. Oh, you can't hear? I'm sorry. There was a parent brought out or brought up the situation. We may have an alternate for carpool information, and so we will look into that and distribute information via the PTO. Yes. Great question. So we have a parent of a sophomore who is here. And one thing that I've learned about Carnegie, we have such a great community that I don't even call it a community. I call it a Carnegie family. And so the network that we have here to correspond with each other, and in this case, corresponding with other parents is phenomenal. So thank you for that. In regards to students who bike to school, yes. Inside of the athletic fields, we have areas for students to actually secure their bikes, and especially if they bring a lock. At 8:30, those gates are locked. So outside of the regular school day, the athletic fields are open to the community as long as we don't have a school function occurring. So it is open. The campus was designed to be somewhat an extension of the Wiley Park, the park nearby. So it is open to the public, but the athletic fields are locked during the instructional day. And so if your student does use a bicycle to get to school, there's an appropriate place for them to secure the bicycle. I think I saw a question at the back, maybe. Okay, yes, sir. As far as I know, there is not a mapped out